Clap it up. Shalom, DC, where the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. We are not affiliated with any other Christian group or Hebrew Israelite group. 1 West is home of the truth. If it's not 1 West, it is not the truth. If it's not under Commanding General Yahanna, it is not of the truth. 1 West, it's not, like I said, if it's not under Commanding General Yahanna, it's not the truth. Tonight, we're going to be speaking about, because I've been getting a lot of communications of sort coming from Ham. A lot of Africans out there is wondering or is asking, is coming up on some questions on if they're Israel, and I want to make this perfectly and absolutely clear that only Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true Jews. Nobody else. You understand? Nobody else. Africans are not our people. We are not Africans. That's according to the Bible. And I can show you proof about, who we are and who they are. You know what I'm saying? I can show you proof exactly who we are and who they are. In the Bible. The Bible is littered with scriptures and signs to show you who we are, signs to show you who they are. It's all in this book. And our people, when I say our people, I'm talking about the people who gave into Christianity, has the most powerful, weapon there is to know in the palm of their hands, but they just misuse it altogether. They misuse it altogether. It's like if you Arwaja, if you have anything, it's like let's give a shout out to Officer Arwaja who's giving me a hand tonight. He's in the building, right? If you have anything, just raise your hand, let me know so I can actually see what's going on. All right. We're gonna get in a few scriptures. Let's get in a few scriptures to show you exactly how the way the Most High told us, who we are, and showed us who Ham is. Is a very poignant difference between us and Ham, right? Let's start from the beginning. let's start from the beginning, and then we're gonna bring out some true life examples of how you ain't African. We ain't African. We have nothing to do with these Hamites. Nothing to do with these Hamites, and they have nothing to do with us. You just look at your your communities. No matter where you are in the world, if there is an African community, there is has nothing to do with us. They segregate themselves amongst their own people, and they have no dealings with us. Nothing. Matter of fact, before they even come over here, their people is telling them to be on the lookout for those so-called African Americans. Stay away from them. They are no good. They are nobodies. They're lazy. They say all this stuff that our oppressor says about us. They co-sign and warn their people, to stay away from us. I say more of that stuff. Good. Stay the hell away from us. We don't want nothing to do with you, just like you don't want nothing to do with us. And even if you do want something to do with us, we still shouldn't want to mingle and commingle with you Africans. Why? Because you have nothing to do with us. You are not a part of this heritage, of this bloodline. Mm-hmm. We are much better without you. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. Right? Let's start from the beginning. So let's get Deuteronomy. Let's get Deuteronomy 26. 28 and 1. Whenever you got it, you can just go ahead and call it out.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1.
Whenever you got it, you can just go ahead and call it out.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Hold on, is it me or is there an echo on out there on YouTube, Facebook land? Is there an echo that y'all guys are getting? Just put a 1 if we're all good. Put a 2 if there's an echo, if there's something wrong with the audio. Most High in Christ. All right. So the scripture says, the Most High is telling us. Hold on. It says they can't hear you. They can't hear you. Okay. Hold on. I heard a little something. This is both Facebook and YouTube. There is an echo. All right. Just give me 1 second. All right, do me a favor, I'll watch it. Read that scripture again. If y'all guys hear an echo or if there's any issue, put a 2 in the chat as he's reading this. Go ahead, I'll watch it.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. I don't hear the echo neither. I heard it when I was.
Okay, that's better. Most High in Christ. All right, we moving along. White man still the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
White man still the devil the Bible speaks of. But we gonna continue along, right? All right. So right here, the scripture is saying, the Most High God is telling us that if we are to obey and to observe and to do all his commandments, not just some. We got to observe observe them. When I say observe them, means like we have to actually know that they're there. That's number one. Why? Because the Christian church doesn't teach us that our laws are here or these laws are still in effect. That's number one. First, we got to observe them. And then it says to actually do all of his commandments. We got to obey all his commandments. Not just some, not just, just a few that may, fit us at this time. You know what I'm saying? We just got past, what was it? The last oppressor holiday was 4th of July. A lot of people were celebrating, Juneteenth. Saying, we got our so-called, freedom from our oppressor, and then turn right back around and then celebrate Juneteenth. That don't fit. That don't fit. It don't make any sense. Said to observe and do all his commandments. All of his commandments is not celebrating Juneteenth, as well as not celebrating, 4th of July. The next upcoming high holy day is what, the blowing of the memorial of the trumpets, I want to say, or the Feast of Tabernacles. Is one of those. Hold on, I'll just tell you right quick. The next one is blowing of the memorial of the trumpets, right? That's our next high holy day. That's the thing we're supposed to celebrate. So the Most High God tells us we need to observe and to do everything that He tells us, right? And then He says if we do that, He is going to put us above every single nation that's on the face of this earth. Now, if you look at so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you can see that we are nowhere near above, every nation that's on the face of the earth. We're below. We're under the foot of every other nation that comes in contact with us. Every other nation, we got, and you, to be honest with you, you look at every other nation and you know that you're better than them. We know that we're better than them. We know they cannot hold a candle to us, whether it be in anything physical, whether it be in sports, or whether it be in academics. People say, there's a stereotype that say, Moab, which we call Asians, are highly intellectual. Did they send the first man to the moon? Who was that? That was a sister. That was a sister that did it, and she did it by hand. Before there was, a calculator or something, something like this, a supercomputer in the palm of your hand. There was that sister who calculated the trajectory and the all the things that needed to go into getting people from the ground and a machine from the ground all the way up into the moon. She did that by hand. And if anybody knows the story, a lot of that stuff was kept from her. A lot of that information was kept from her, and she had to go ahead and start from the base where everybody else had a head start. Now, isn't that familiar? Everybody else has a head start, and we have to, go from base, from the ground, and then apply ourselves, work, double and triple hard as our counterparts. She was in a room full of white men who couldn't do half the things she did with all the information that they got that she didn't have, and she had to do everything from scratch and still excelled. How about George Washington Carver, who took a peanut and made $1,000,001. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but made $1,000,001 little different inventions from the peanut. From the peanut. Now we can talk about that. Or how about this? The reason why we got these cell phones, the reason why NBA 2K or Call of Duty or Madden or any of that stuff is actually popular, and people are making there's a whole ton of people making millions of dollars off of just playing the games. That's because of a black man. The reason why we have cell phones, not because of Steve Jobs. I don't even know who's the head of Samsung, because that's whoever invented Android. I don't know who did that, but neither one of them would be famous. Neither one of them would be famous without the man who invented what goes in here to make the cell phone work. None of them would be. Just think, some people remember how it was before the cell phone was invented. Some people, there are some people out here who remember how it was before a cell phone was popular. And even when there was a cell phone, it was this brick thing that would take you 10 minutes to write a message. And if you just kept concentrating on what you was writing, and then you looked up at the message and you misspelled something, you have to go all the way back and delete, and then come. Just think of the technology that it went from that to what we have right now, to where you can record and live stream something just from the palm of your hand. Who did that? We did that, and we're at the bottom. We're still handicapped, but we're still doing stuff like that. Now you're going to take it to something carnal. When I say something carnal, who's better than LeBron James? You know what I'm saying? Who's better than Jimmy Butler? Who's better than Kyrie Irving and KD and Devin Booker? Who's better than these guys? You might throw in one heathen, you might throw in two heathen, but for them one and two heathens, there is nobody arguing that, because right now the person who's at the top of the game arguably would be, a Hamite or a Edomite, one or the other. Now, if you take those two, neither one of them has ever been in an argument of who's the greatest, nor will they ever be in an argument of who's the greatest. None of them. Now, even if you go to football and people argue, that Tom Brady is the best quarterback, best quarterback there ever was, right? But he's no athlete. Who's protecting him? There's a bunch of niggas out there protecting him so he can throw that ball. Who's he throwing the ball to? A bunch of niggas who he's throwing the ball to. Who is he handing the ball off to? Another nigga who's handing the ball off to.
Right.
He wouldn't be there if it wasn't for us. If it wasn't for us. Now that's carnal. I didn't took you to someone where in the academics to something as carnal as nigga, we faster than you, we bigger than you, we're stronger than you, and we're smarter than you. The first person who did open heart surgery up there in Baltimore. The nigga who was ran for president and became the HUD director.
Right.
From Baltimore, and he I think it was open heart surgery. What in the hell is that dude's name?
Get in there.
But you know what I'm talking. He was a brother from the hood. Everybody,
right.
and what's sad about this situation right now, that dude, is because everybody thinks that in his old age he became this soft this soft dude who ran for president as a Republican and who didn't get the white or is trying to get the white votes and whatnot. When in reality, he's from the hood. He's from the hood. He's from Baltimore. If anybody's ever been to Baltimore, no, that's a tough place. If you want to survive, something coming out of Baltimore, you have to be you have not had to be, because it's still like that. You have to be a tough person. You have to be a tough person. Not only was he tough physically, but he was tough mentally. He was tough mentally. He like I said, I want to say he performed the first open heart surgery in a place where they hated him. John Hopkins. He went to was working at John Hopkins up in Baltimore. He's one of the reasons why that institution is still so great. It's one of the great institutions. And where is it? Right in the middle of the hood. Right. That's it. Ben Carson. Ben Carson. We're just bigger than you. We're smarter than you. We're faster than you. We cook better than you. we do everything better than you. And right now we're handicapped. Why? Because the Most High put us in this captivity. Now just think if the Most High, because the white man ain't putting this, this handicap on us, it's the Most High that's doing this. The Most High took the handcuffs off us. Just imagine how great we can get back to. Just imagine that, right? Hold on 1 second. Why are white people the only group of people on earth that doesn't have a tribe? They do have a tribe. Their nation is called, Esau, and there are different tribes under, Esau. Just like there's different tribes under Ham. There's different tribes under Israel. For instance, the so-called Jewish man is one of the tribes under Esau. That's just for instance, right? Let's keep reading. Drop me down to verse 15.
Okay. Let's keep reading. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. For it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it says, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if we do not listen, if you do not observe and listen and to do. Like I said before, in order for us to do it, we first have to observe it. We first have to see that it's actually here. And because of Christianity, most of our people are into Christianity. Well, all of our people are, I should say, are into Christianity. People who are not in I.S.U.P.K are into Christianity. Even if you are in a fake Israelite group, you're a Christian. You don't even realize it, but you're a Christian. If anything that's going against these laws, statutes, and commandments, if anything is going against his vibe, the Most High's vibe, which is on this school, you're a Christian. You're a Christian. And if you in some other fake Israelite group, they would say that Africans are the children of Israel when they are really Africans. That's Christian. Why? Because Christians believe God will save everybody. It's going to be a matter of time if they're still around, because I don't see them being around too much longer. I don't see them being around too much longer. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. There's a whole lot of stuff going on that's exposing them to be the liars that they are. There's exposing them to be the liars that they are. So if they're still around, they're going soon to say East Indians will be, Israelites. They'll say, Hamites. Well, they're saying Hamites. They're saying Ishmaelites, Moab, Esau. They're going to be Christian. Before the day is done, they will say everybody can be saved. But that's what you get when when your leader is just out of order, 100% out of order and nasty. But the Most High God says, in order for you, if you do not observe and do all these laws, statutes, and commandments, all of these curses are going to overtake us. All of these curses are going to overtake us. Drop down and give me 16. Read the next verse, Baruch Shah.
Okay. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. This is our lot that we have to. This is our punishment. This is our punishment. Why? Because we most of us don't even know that there's more than 10 commandments. Why? Because we have Christianity on us. Most of us don't even know we have more. There's more than 10 commandments that the Most High God has put on the nation of Israel. Right? So it's saying because we're not obeying all of his laws, all of his statutes, and all of his commandments, we're going to be cursed in the city. If anybody's living in the city or living close to the city, you know how cursed we are, because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're in the city or whether you were in the country, you were in the field. It doesn't matter. We're still getting racially profiled. The cops, the overseers are still, racially profiling us. Karens are both in the city and in the field to call them overseers on us. We're the first fired and last hired. If anything goes wrong, we fit the description. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where we are. The Most High God says all of these curses are going to overtake us. It's going. What does it say? It's going to come upon us and overtake us.
Right.
Now we in the city of Washington, D.C., and there's a whole section on U Street where them stinking Hamites congregate. Arwaja, are they cursed in the city? Hell no, they ain't cursed in the city. And then when they go home, they don't live in the city. They go home, they go in like some certain places in PG County and down in Virginia, like in Alexandria. They ain't cursed there either. You know why? Because they come to the city, take all of our money, take all of our money and go and live lavishly wherever the hell they please. Wherever the hell they please. They ain't cursed. They ain't cursed. So all this, we Africans and they a part of us. You are not African. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You are not Africans. And if you think you African, just because we were kidnapped from the east coast of Africa, it was the west coast of Africa. Since we were kidnapped over there, doesn't mean that we're actually from there. Does not mean that we're actually from there. If you are, what tribe are you from? And don't tell me that you know what tribe you're from because of 23andMe, because of some BS DNA tests that you took a swab or whatever. They took a swab of some lizard DNA and they found that they're from whatever tribe in east coast of Africa. You know they do that, right?
Yeah.
So it's absolutely fake. It's fake. The only real good thing about DNA is telling if you're related to someone, aka paternity tests. That's a good DNA. That's something. Or so I would say for that. But to go back in the time and say, well, I'm from here and there, or this tribe and this tribe. Nah, they don't even say you're from X, Y, and Z tribe. They just say you 23% from here, you're 17% from there, you're 19% from this tribe, and then you're 70 or 62% from this tribe. So that means you from all these tribes? Nah, if you actually meet an African, they'll tell you, "Oh, I'm from this country. I'm from Tobo and Tomo, and I'm from the southern part. And the tribe I'm from is this X, Y, and Z tribe, and we speak this language, and we speak the sister language, which is for the tribe that's next door. They know going down to that. They know that." When you think you from Egypt, why everybody think they from Egypt? Why all these niggas gotta think they from Egypt?
Right.
What happened to the Africans that be sticking their heads in cows' butts? You think I'm lying? You think I'm lying? Nah. What happened to that? What happened to them Africans that be putting the plates in their lips and make it elongated and whatnot? Or how about the Africans that be putting the rings on their necks? Or how about the Africans that scar their flesh like they did, like Killmonger did in Black Panther? You don't want to be part of them? I know a ton of y'all seen these documentaries. There's one tribe in Africa. I don't know where the hell they from, but they don't bathe. What they do is they put mud on themselves, like red clay. Right. You know what I'm saying? They put like red clay for themselves to cool themselves, and they put in, they mat their hair down and whatnot. And then you part of them? You part of them people that don't bathe. There's a reason why. It's a reason why one of their stereotypes is they stink. There's a reason why. Yeah. But you one of them, right? Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. Drop me down to 32.
Come. So lock it, if I could.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, what's up? Hold on 1 second.
So lock it. That's the Himba tribe.
Yeah, what's up?
It doesn't bathe. They just use the red clay to clean themselves. It doesn't bathe. They just use the red clay to clean themselves.
You said is the Hemba tribe. It's like it for this little delay. But we working it out. So you said it's the Hemba tribe that be using the red clay and whatnot. Them some nasty mofos. I was at a I had the room with this one African. I had to tell him to flush the goddamn toilet. Like yo, when you use the bathroom, flush the toilet. It was like, oh, in my country, the water is so scarce. We can only flush the water maybe twice a day. I'm like what? Really? So this is the type of people that y'all want to be around. This is the type of people that y'all want to be. Y'all claim that y'all that, but nah, y'all. What the most people want to say is I'm commission or whatever. Like, come on, son. Like, really? A lot. I'm not gonna say all of it, but a lot of our laws when we came out of Egypt was the Egyptians doing that stuff. For instance, hold on one second. Give me something that these niggas would do. Salakia. Hold on.
Salakia, if I could. Can you hear me, sir?
Read 32 again. I'm gonna get you another one.
Okay. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
Stop when you're done at 32.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on, Slakia. Give me Leviticus 22. Give me Leviticus 18. Leviticus 18. And read. Hold on. Start at 20.
Okay.
And I want you just for time's sake, I want you to go all the way down to 23.
Okay. Book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 20. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion.
Right there. So all this right here, like I said, you want to be African. When we got out of Africa, when we got out of the land of our oppressor, the Most High God, this just a touch. It's talking about adultery. Don't sleep with your neighbor's wife. It's talking about homosexuality. Don't be don't be the month of June. Don't be the community of the LGBTQ plus, LGBTQ IUIC. Don't be that. And it's also saying don't lie with a beast.
Right.
Don't lie with the beast. I'm not saying this is where it came from, but there is a popular saying you know, that AIDS came from, you know, a man sleeping with a monkey or a gorilla or an ape or something like that. I'm not saying it came out of there, but it came from that. Those rumors came from, you know, quote unquote, the motherland. This is what the popular term of Africa is called, the motherland, which I don't claim it to be the motherland. But this is what it's talking about.
Motherland.
Now we just read in verse 23 that we ain't to be laying with the damn beast. We ain't to be laying with the damn beast. Now, there's certain things that I don't have to tell. I don't have to tell my son because I just know he ain't gonna do that type of stuff. But if he's been exposed to certain stuff, like if he goes to some Edomite's house or something like that, and he sees those Edomites talking to their parents any type of way, I am going to have to tell my son, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Whatever the hell it is that they do, let them do it. But you ain't gonna do that. And the reason why it's actually in here is because we've seen some nastiness like that in our captivity. We've seen these stinking Hamites lying with a man. We've seen these stinking Hamites lying with their neighbor's wife. We've seen these stinking Hamites lying with an animal, with a beast. So the Most High God said, you know what? Don't do this nastiness. Don't do this wickedness. And he spelled it out for us. It's not the only time he's saying this either. It's not the first time. It's not the last time. Most High God is telling us not to do this wickedness. And the reason why we've seen this is because we was in captivity with some dirty, stinking, nasty heathens who y'all call Africans. We are not a part of them. That's the real Africans right there. The original LGBTQ IUIC. Hold on. Right? So go drop me back down to 28 and 32.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
And that's what he's saying. He said we're gonna have sons, we're gonna have daughters, and someone else is gonna take them. Someone else is gonna take them. Did you finish 32?
No, sir.
Okay, so it says, you know, we're gonna have sons and daughters, and someone's gonna take them. We can't get them back. Let's go back into antiquity and see that it first started. No, I ain't gonna say it first started. One of the times it happened was when we were getting rounded up and kidnapped. They first took our children. They took the men. They kidnapped the men. They kidnapped the women. They kidnapped the children. When they kidnapped the children, we couldn't do anything about it. They took them to a different city. They had them. Imagine we're in DC right now. There's a wharf over in downtown DC, but that place where, you know, it has, you know, ships. Not, I wouldn't even say ships. They have boats. Have boats coming in. It's not a major port. So the next major port is Baltimore, or you can go down to Virginia Beach. Baltimore is the closest one. The next biggest one down is you know, the 5 cities: Virginia Beach, you know, Hampton, them places down there. Now, from here, it's about an hour and a half drive to Baltimore. Down there is about a 4-hour drive down, you know, down Chesapeake area, Chesapeake Bay, Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads, all that stuff is down there. Those are where the ships come in and out, where the big ships can load up a lot of cargo. Right here, it's just you know, the Chesapeake. Give me right. Is it the Chesapeake, where it's just a river? then it'll lead out into you know, the Atlantic Ocean. Now just imagine if we're here in DC and then someone comes and kidnaps our children. Now we got to walk all the way up to Baltimore. Walk all the way down. They ain't transporting us. Walk all the way down to Virginia Beach in order to put us in cages until the ship is ready, until they have enough cargo in order to send another ship out. There's no might in our hands to go and get our people. Fast forward to slavery, when we actually came over here, when we had kids, if it benefited the master, whether it was because we were rebellious, or you know, they were trying to get us in line, or they were just trying to pay a bill or make some extra money, they would sell our children. What can we do? Nothing but cry all the day long. There was no might in our hand to get them from these wicked bastards. You know who caused that to happen? One of the people, Africans. And you say, well, Africans sold Africans. No, the hell they didn't. Africans did not sell Africans. If anybody's ever been to Africa, I've been to quote unquote Africa. Some people say it ain't real Africa, but it's Africa. Where are we on? Where is that place? On the continent of Africa. I was in Morocco, and they knew who wasn't Moroccan and who was. They treated the people who wasn't Moroccan like total and absolute crap. They knew where to go in order to be a whipping post. They knew that. Or how about anybody ever see damn, what's that movie with Don Cheadle? Hotel Rwanda. Tutsis and Hutus. The people who was oppressed knew who the people who was oppressing them. They classified themselves as different. So when all hell broke loose, they knew who to attack. They knew who to attack. So when you come and tell me, well, it was African selling African, no, they knew it was a different people. They knew it was a different people. Just like today, right now, we're all considered Americans, right? Here in America, we're all considered Americans. So why is it Karens only coming up to us? When I say us, I'm talking about so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You're not seeing any Karen event with a Hamite, with an Egyptian, with an Ethiopian. You don't see those incidences. You only see them incidences with us. But we're so-called American. Why can't they mistake one of them for us? Why? Because they know who we are. Just like when we was getting rounded up, when we was hiding out from Esau, they knew who we were. They knew who we were. So it wasn't Africans selling Africans. It was Hamites selling Israelites. When we got over here in North Central South America, whenever it fit the oppressor, they sold our babies. We couldn't do anything about it. They took our babies. And fast forward to now, even now, they're still doing it. How are they doing it? With CPS, Child Protective Services, trying to say that, you know, that our kids are being neglected, so they need to take them away and put them in foster care with people who don't give a goddamn about our kids. Now there may be, I'm not saying there's instances or there's cases where it is better to take those kids out the home that they're in and place them in another home. But most of the time, majority of the time, and here's where it's so wicked and so vile what they do to our people. Because they do it to our people. They don't do it to Hamites, Africans. They do it to our people. This is so bad. Most of the time, they say the kids are neglected because the parents are never there because they have to be out working to support the kids. And they're saying that the kids are neglected. And you know what they do? They then take the kids out, put them in foster care, and then give the foster parents money. They give the foster parents money to subsidize them taking care of the kids. Now, why don't you just give that money? And it's not, no pity pat money. It's not like $100, $200 a month. We're talking hundreds and thousands of dollars for these people to take care of these kids. Now, if you mean to tell me, and a lot of times our people, we're just, 100, 200, maybe $300 short for the month to make ends meet. Now, if you were to give that mother, single mother, unfortunately, a lot of times it's a single mother. You give that single mother, or even if it is a two parent home, and they still can't, make ends meet, why don't you give that family that $100, $300, $500,000 a month and see how much better that family will grow instead of handing them off to a bunch of strangers who don't give a goddamn about them. All they're in it is for the money. This doesn't happen to any other people. This happens to us. This happens to us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. That's right. They say there's a career of foster parents out there who all they do is just, and then they take the money and then totally neglect the kid. And honestly, that would probably be a better outcome, because not only because if they neglect the kid, that's horrible and totally unacceptable. But then there's foster parents out there who abuse the foster kids, totally abuse them mentally, physically, and sexually. Now, why would they do that? Why? Because they don't give a goddamn about us. It's not, like I said, it's not happening to Africans. These curses are specifically for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are true Jews of the Bible. Now, if you want to take the kid out because they're being, there is some potential harm or neglect in them, one, try giving them the money with no strings attached. Just give them the goddamn money. You have the money in there because you're giving it to the foster parents. So why don't you just give them the money? And if that's not if that doesn't work, if you must take them out the home, and in my opinion, only Commander Joni Yahanna can make that decision. Only Commander Joni Yahanna can make that decision. And if the decision is to be made to take them out the homes, why don't you give them to their kinfolk? Why don't you give them to someone who they're actually related to, who want the kids, the children, instead of giving them to some stranger who doesn't give a goddamn about them. All they see the kids are some dollar signs. And then if there's more than one, they split them up. Totally split them up. How about that? Why don't you just give the money to the parents so they don't have to work 3 and 4 different jobs just to make ends meet? Or how about you give them a livable wage so they don't have to work multiple jobs like this? Like I said, this is not happening to anybody else. This is happening to us. Now let's go on to some more stuff. Who's down there in them borders right now? Whose kids are down there in them borders right now? Is it Mbutu? Is it Manute? Is it Mutombo? Is it no? It ain't no one like that. It's our people. It's our people who's down there on the borders. So-called Latino kids are down there on the borders in cages. Now, last time I checked, if I had something in the cage, there was 100% accountability for whatever's in that cage, whatever's in this box. I know if I put them there, if I put anything in there, it's going to be there unless I take them out. Why is it that our kids, our Latino kids that are down there in them borders, in them cages, being lost? They take the kids and then they take the parents and separate them and deport them. If you're going to deport the parents, deport the children. Keep the children with the parents.
Right.
You want to know why they're not doing that? Because they're selling them as sex slaves. This is the punishment that the Most High God has sent our enemies to do to us. Why? Because we refuse to accept our Most High as a power of us. All we want to do is celebrate Christmas. All we want to do is celebrate birthdays and Thanksgiving. All we want to do is eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. All we want to do is lie with another man's woman. That's all we want. We want to serve other gods. And when we celebrate other holidays, when we celebrate, when we smoke anything, when we do any type of drug, when we sell any type of drug, when we lie with another man's woman, when we're eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, that's telling the Most High God that we don't care about him. We don't want him to be our power.
Right.
And like a father, he's giving us our just punishment. He's giving us our just punishment. Now, because of something that we did, our kids have to suffer. Our neighbors' kids have to suffer. Our family's kids have to suffer. Man, I tell people this all the time, man. There's stuff out there that's worse than death. And if you mess with the Most High, you are going to find out what is worse than death. Imagine, taking your kids from a land that your oppressor tore up, ravaged, and he's selling you a bill of dreams where you can take them to another land where you don't have to worry about your kids growing up in such violence, growing up in a chance that your daughters, maybe even sons, might not have to get kidnapped and sold into being sold as sex slaves, sold into prostitution, human trafficked. You try and go and risk everything. You leave everything at home. Your land, your culture, your language, you leave everything. The place you grew up in, most likely loved, absolutely loved that place. But you have to leave that because you have a family now. And you don't want your kids to grow up in a cesspool that the same oppressor that's selling you these dreams to go into this other land where it's not going to be like that. Well, I guess I'm going to tell you, it is like that here too. It's just a little bit different. You may not, you know what I'm saying? You may not be exposed to X, Y, and Z, but you are definitely going to be exposed to A, B, and C. And maybe a little bit of X, Y, and Z. But either way, we're going to be, it doesn't matter where we go. It doesn't matter where, doesn't matter, what land we go to. Doesn't matter what language we speak. If we're not following the Most High God's law, statutes, and commandments, we're going to be destroyed. Now, imagine risking everything, going to actually making to this land, and then right when you get across the border, you get captured. You and your family, everybody gets captured. They take you, put you in this cage. They take your family and your children and put them in this cage. And they say, well, you'll get them later. And they send you away and you never see or hear from your family again. That's Deuteronomy 28 and 32. Right there. That's happening right now. How many Africans are on TV or are in social media or in magazines or in newspapers claiming this is happening to them? How many? I don't know because I don't see it. The only things I see is that happening to our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right.
Drop me down to 48.
Okay.
Read 48 to 50.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
You read down to 50?
Come.
Hold on, Salakia. Read that one more time. I just want to show this.
Come.
Read that 48 through 50 again one more time, Baba Shaw.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Now you see yokes of iron right here around your neck. Yokes of iron around our necks right here until we be destroyed. Now there ain't no yokes of iron around our necks right now. You want to know why? Because that prophecy has come true. There's no yokes of iron around our neck right now, when in some cases there are. Some cases there are. Salakia. Hold on. Some cases there are. Hold on. But for the most part, yokes of iron is not around our necks right now because we're totally destroyed. We're totally destroyed. So there is no yokes of iron around our necks right now, Salakia. But there are some people that get put in chains like this right here. We get put in chains like this right here. Not just around our ankles, but around our waist and around our hands and around our necks as well. Yokes of iron. All this is happening to so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. It's not happening to anybody else. It's not happening to these so-called Hamites. These Hamites. It's not happening to them. It's happening to us. It's not happening to them. It's happening to us.
Right.
The Most High God says he's going to send a fierce nation. And it says right here, the Most High God did it. It's going to send a fierce nation against us, as from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. What is the national bird or animal for the United States? It's a bald eagle. It's a bald eagle. Why is it? What is the fascination? What is the fascination with eagles flying high and all that stuff? What is their fascination? What is the white man's fascination with that? You want to know what it is? Because they're cavemen. They're cavemen. They come from the clefts of the mountains. They're used to looking, from the mountains, looking up high and whatnot. Where do eagles live? They live high above, you know what I'm saying? In treetops and then, mountaintops. That's their fascination. That's their fascination with them. So the Most High God said they're going to the Most High God is going to send these bastards against us. And man, it gotta hurt something special, something fierce to know that the whole only reason why that these wicked bastards are over us is because we disobeyed the Most High God. If it was a fair fight, it wouldn't be no fight. If the Most High God didn't handicap us, humble us, to put us down, bring us down low, there is no way they would be ruling over anything. There's no way they will be ruling over anything. I saw this one video. This cop was arresting two brothers outside of a hospital. I just seen it outside of a hospital. One dude was already, sitting down, had his cuffs on him. The other guy, he was content at getting arrested, right? Because the dude had one cuff on him, and he was bringing the other hand back, and the guy kind of like, yeah, man, whatever. And then he grabbed his hair. The cop grabbed his hair. He's like, man, get off my hair like that, right? He's trying to manhandle him. So he turned around and just laid him out, one hit. And then when he laid him out, that dude did the lean back. You know what I'm saying? When he went to lean back, he went to go pouncing on him. Now you mean to tell me these bastards, these bastards the one that's supposed to be over us? Only reason why they are over us is because the Most High God put them over us, because we refuse to obey Him. Right? We refuse to obey Him. Furthermore, the scripture says, a nation of fierce countenance that which shall not regard the person of old nor the person of young. We just, not a lot of them can do this now, but they still an old man of 80 can still be a boy in the eyes of these oppressors. They even got this quote unquote content creator where he be going around doing pranks. He be in like these overalls, and this nigga took it too far. He had a little coon with him. Yes, I said coon. He had a little coon with him this time, because before he would just go around by himself, and he'd be going up to people in Walmart. I don't know why people be doing this in Walmart, because niggas fighting Walmart. I don't know why they want to be doing this, but he be going up to people and be like getting real close up to him. He's like, "Hey man, won't you hand me it over there, boy?" And he'd be like, "Hand me that." I said, "Hand it to me, boy. Hand it to me right now, boy." And the reaction just be like, "Man, it'd be some good reactions." Because a lot of times he get laid out. Now he has he goes around with some coon with him, and he be like, "Hey man, you better listen to some nigga." He got be like, "Hey man, just listen to him," trying to get some laughs. Like why would you do that? Why would you do that? He got something coming to him. He should stop while he's ahead. They probably didn't put out what happened to both of them, but he should stop while he's ahead. But they don't mess with us. We can be old of age, aged people who knows something about something, but someone half their age can call them a boy. Like I used to live in Esau land. I mean, we're in Esau land right now, but I'm talking about where you the only nigga in the whole country. I used to live in Esau land way back when, and I used to tell people when even this is way before the truth. I used to tell people, hey, boy is a white racist word. Don't ever say boy to me. Even if you're talking about a young male, say young male. Don't even fix your mouth to say boy around me. I'm liable to take it the wrong way. But that was before I knew the truth and knew how, when to fight my battles, right? Drop me down to 64. As a matter of fact, no, hold on. Get me 1 Samuel 17:23. Get me 1 Samuel 17 and 23. And we're gonna read down to 26.
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 23. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath.
Hold on, real quick. Just letting you know, this is David, the shepherd boy. This is David, the shepherd boy, when he went up to the camp when Goliath was talking his crap, an African, a Hamite. He was talking his crap to all of Israel, and nobody wanted to fight him. So this is what's going on. right? Remember, he's just a shepherd boy at this point. Read that from the top again, Baba Kishar.
Come. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same word. And David heard them.
You're going to go all the way down to 26, Baba Kishar.
Okay. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him and were sore afraid. Verse 25. And the
All right,
men
hold
of
on. He
Israel
said,
said,
and they were so afraid. Everybody in Israel was afraid of this stinking Hamite. Everybody was afraid. Everybody saw, David came up, he saw this Hamite, talking all this crap, and everybody was scared, right? Let's keep reading.
Come. And the men of Israel said, have ye seen this? And have ye seen this man that has come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spake to the men that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living God?
So David, first, Israel was saying, who's going to kill this? Whoever kills this dude, the king is going to give them his daughter, right? The king is going to give him his daughter. Whoever's going to kill him, kill this heathen, is King Saul is going to give him his daughter, right? And David spoke. David spoke like a man in the truth, not afraid of his enemy, right? He said, he stood by and said, what will be done to this man that kills the Philistine and taketh away the reproach of Israel? Who's going to take away the reproach? Which means who's going to he's playing us. He's putting dirt on our name. People should be fearing us. People should be fearing us. And then he went on to say, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Basically, he's saying, who is this African booty scratcher? Who is this stinking, filthy, disgusting Hamite? Whose man's is this? Who is this? An African booty scratcher. That's not even, really it's not even funny, but it's funny. Like he's saying anything and everything to get the men riled up. And everybody, all the men of Israel they didn't even say one bad thing against, this Philistine. For anyone to call someone, for Israel to call anybody an uncircumcised whatever, them should have been fighting words. Those was fighting words. You know what I'm saying? Like we call the white man the devil, cavemen, troglodytes, African booty scratchers, sheep lovers. I'll put it to you that way. Put it that way. This is what how the way this is how the way Israel felt about our oppressor at this point in time was the Philistines. And we had beef with the Philistines for a long time, even before this incident with Goliath. He was bigger than Shaq. If anybody knows how big Shaq is, I seen like some comparisons of Shaq and whatnot. They said his one of his championship rings can fit like two fingers of regular people's rings like this, right? He's like 7'4". The average man in America, I want to say, is like 5'9". This dude is like 7'4", almost 2 feet, a foot and a half, to what, 2 feet, 2 feet tall, over 2 feet. God damn. 2 feet taller and 100 and 200 pounds bigger. Now just imagine Goliath dwarfing Shaq. They said he had he has a basketball and it's literally like this in my hand. Most people can't even palm a basketball, and Shaq is holding the basketball is like this. You know what I mean? Just imagine someone like that, someone as big as Shaq is, someone dwarfing Shaq, not just in height but just overall. And you got some, young shepherd boy calling this, this Hamite a filthy, disgusting, wicked bastard. Who's going to take the reproach away from him, away from Israel? Right. Who is going to kill this dude? If anybody ain't going to do it, let me do it. Let me do it. Give me Isaiah. Hold on. What time is it? Salakia. Give me Isaiah 45 and 17.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to get there with you. Salakia. Isaiah 45 and 17.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel
Hold on,
shall be saved.
Salakia. I just want to get one thing real quick. 19. Go ahead.
Okay. The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end.
So right here, the Most High God is saying Israel will be saved. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, we read a few, just a few scriptures of what is going to happen to Israel if we did not obey the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments, and we did not obey the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So there's a whole ton of curses that's upon Israel right now. All these curses has nothing to do with Africans. All these curses have nothing to do with Africans. And right here it's saying Israel is going to be saved. Didn't say anything about Africans. Didn't say anything about the white man. It didn't say anything about our oppressor, Moab, so-called Asians, so-called East Indians. It didn't say anything about it, but it says Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Didn't say anything about anybody else. Read that one more time so that so the people in the back can hear it.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded world without end.
We're going to be a world without end. A world without end. We have an everlasting salvation. Drop that. Get me Zephaniah 2 and 12.
Okay.
For all these people on U Street, I need these people on U Street to hear this. And be honest with you, this just doesn't go for U Street. It goes for all you stinking Hamites. Yes, I said stinking Hamites. That's how the Most High God feels about you. That's how David feels about you. You are an uncircumcised heathen. It means you an African booty scratcher. There's some videos. So hold on. This goes to show you a lot more about how Israel is. We're often imitated, never duplicated. There's so many styles and fad. I don't even say fads, but so many styles and swagger that's just stolen from us. Straight up stolen from us. The top, African artists right now is what's that dude's name? I forget this dude's name, but
Burner
he's
Boy.
Burner Boy. That's that Hamite's name. His whole style comes from Benjamites. His whole style comes from Benjamites. What's his name? 21 Savage. Was it 21 Savage? 21 Savage, I want to say he says he's never going to, you know, do any more music with Africans anymore. They don't, you know, they don't mess with him. So if he don't, that's good. If they don't mess with him, why is he messing with Africans?
Right.
He has they said he had one of the top songs that was out, and I think it had a African in it, and it didn't even crack the top in Africa, which means they ain't messing with him. So he ain't messing with them. Good. There's a video out with showing how the Ethiopians be dancing, right? Like I said, we often imitated, never duplicated. I don't know how many times. Like when I used to slave at a nightclub, an Ethiopian nightclub, and when I first got there, and I saw like a quote unquote dance battle with these Ethiopians, they were squaring up, right? They came up to each other, they squared up. I was like, oh, we about to, you know, something's about to happen. So I'm ready. I'm started to walk over there. They started moving and gyrating. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Had no idea. They started jerking. I thought they were sick. Dead ass. I thought they were sick. I thought something was wrong. I know y'all can see this video, you know. Y'all can see this video of these Ethiopians, how the way they be dancing. It's just bad. It's just bad. And they was doing that, and then I'm serious, dead ass, just staring at them, looking at them, not even just like scanning the area, whatever. I'm trained on, I'm looking at them like, what the hell is going on? Why are they jerking and shaking their head and moving it? Why are they what is that? What is that? And then, you know, they stopped and they started laughing and walked away. I'm like, that's a dance? I had to ask one of my co-workers. I'm like, yo, what was going on? It's like, oh, that was just a dance battle. They do that all the time. And you can see the video now, like it's coming out, you know, some of these, you know, Ethiopian dances. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it. Just Google some of these Ethiopian dances, and it's just terrible. Terrible. No one is like, oh man, I can take that and I can twist it and have my own. Nah, I don't see not near a nigga trying to do none of that stuff. None of that stuff. Them big-headed, bubble-eyed bastards, they have no love for us. We should have no love for them. None whatsoever. And I know, because I said I used to slave, you know, at that nightclub. They don't mess with us. 100% they don't mess with us. So we shouldn't mess with them. And this is how the Most High God feels about them. Read that, Zephaniah 2 and verse 12.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 12. Ye Ethiopians
Who?
Also. Ye Ethiopians.
Say that one more time.
Ye Ethiopians also.
Keep going. Just so you can make sure who they're talking about. Ethiopians, you are in the Bible. You are in the Bible. And let's see what the Most High God has to say about you.
Ye shall be slain.
Shall be what?
Sword. Slain by my sword.
Shall be slain. What does that mean, to be slain? It means to be killed. Ye Ethiopians will be killed by who?
By my sword.
By the Most High God's sword. I ain't gonna do a goddamn thing to you. I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna laugh at you when you dancing. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna laugh at you when you dancing, with whatever you call that dance. I'm gonna laugh at that. But the Most High God is gonna slay you with His sword. And in case you don't know, when Christ comes back, He's coming back with a sword, and it's gonna be dipped in blood. It's gonna be drenched in blood. Why? Because ye Ethiopians will be slain by the Most High God. So that's in the Bible.
Right.
How many of y'all still claiming Africa, Mama Africa? How many of y'all still claiming Ethiopia, Egypt, Kemet? Y'all know they eat boo-boo. Y'all do know that, and it's on video now. For years we've been saying that, and y'all saying nah, that y'all just making stuff up. Nah, it's on video. These Africans will take the intestines where all the boo-boo is and eat the boo-boo. Put their face in it and whatnot. I see. We have pictures, we have videos of these Africans putting their head inside the anus of some large animal. I'm not gonna say it's a cow, some large animal. But y'all want to be Africans? Y'all want to? So why don't y'all put that plate? Start putting plates in your lip. Why don't you start doing that? When you start doing that, then I will believe that you want to be African. But until then, you wearing kente, and you know what? Honestly, that kente cloth that niggas started wearing back in the 90s and whatnot, probably even earlier than that. Africans don't even wear that. You know what they wear? They wear these dusty suits. They wear these dusty, over too big suits and whatnot. They wear a lot of funky stuff, to be honest with you. And I'm not just talking about, just the way they look, but they stink too. They be wearing a lot of funky, out of this world type. And I don't mean a good funk. I don't mean like Parliament Funkadelic funk. I'm talking about like, what the hell are you think? Why are you wearing that? I had to tell this one dude I was slaving with. I was in Afghanistan. And it was one Hamite. I told him, like, nigga, what the hell are you wearing, man? What are you wearing? He's going to the gym wearing some stuff he was not supposed to be wearing. I had to check him, like, hey, stop. Go back to your chew and put something else on. He thought I was playing with him. I'm like, no, you are violating people right now with what you got on. Stop it. Who's out there, and even the people who are trying to, be, African and whatnot, like what's that? Umar Johnson. He don't even look like what Africans look like. He don't even dress like that. He dressed like a nigga. But he, talking about this Pan-African mumbo jumbo. Let them people be, and you attend to your people.
Right.
I know you don't know who your people is, so he needs to come to class. He needs to come to class. Do we have anything before I close out? You got anything, watching?
Oh, come.
Hold on, one second.
I just
start doing that. All right, go ahead. When you start doing that,
then Duwato. I just wanted to say that Mayor Bowser in D.C., the mayor of D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser, she renamed 9th and U Street Little Ethiopia. So that's theirs.
Salak, Arwad, is a little bit of a delay. Hold on. They stink. Well, goddamn. Salak, Arwad, I couldn't hear what you said, but let's go ahead. I'm gonna pass the class over to you, and we're gonna close it out. All right.
Well, security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters who comes into the school. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 and 8 through 16. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced my.
All right, Salakia. Hold on. He cut out for a second. He says it went out. Oh, is that him? All right, so he says, all right, tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Right? All right. All right, Roger. Continue on with the tithe section, Baba Kashaw.
10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming Holy Convocation, that would be Salakia. September. It's memorial of blowing of the trumpets. The first day of the 7th month. September 15th, 2023. You can find this in the book of Leviticus 23, verses 24 and 25. Salakia, sir. Remind Akim and Akwafium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on. Say Amijam, which means to stand. We give one courtesy salute to the teacher.
All right.
Men of Israel, Amijam Shabbat, Amijam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shabbarakatha.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatha.
Yahya Matah, class dismissed.
All right.